I think I am most grateful for being a part of it, for having had the ability to be a part of the reform and making a difference in the lives of New Jersey children and families. That's really all I ever wanted to do. I actually started working for then DIFUS when we were part of the Department of Human Services back in 2003 at the point that the lawsuit was settled. I think the suit was settled in May, and I began working for the department in September of 2003. And at that time, I was the regional assistant director, was a title that we had at that time. You know, there's been a lot of changes in structure in both now DCPMP and DCF. The workforce was really demoralized. Like, that's the one thing that I remember and can take away, is that the workforce felt demoralized. They didn't feel that anyone had confidence in them, you know, which was challenging because we had a lot of staff who were coming to work every day trying to do the best that they could in an under-resourced, underfunded system. When I think about the opportunity that I have as commissioner and coming in 2018 as commissioner, because I worked here before, because I was here at the start of the lawsuit or the start of the reform and worked here for 8.5 years in various leadership positions, you know, I felt really grounded in what we were trying to accomplish. Like, what were the strategies that were put forward by the other commissioners? You know, I worked for every commissioner before becoming commissioner and in leadership positions. And so what I knew I needed to do in coming in 2018 as commissioner was to just continue building on all of the good work that was done before me. I believe that the reason New Jersey has been successful, and even though it took 20 years, why New Jersey has been so successful is that every commissioner built on what their predecessor had done or put in place. And I also think that what's very special about having been a commissioner in New Jersey or being a commissioner is that all of us worked in the system in some capacity prior to becoming commissioner. In many other states, you know, you can go work across the nation. I could go get a job in another state, but I have a really strong commitment to New Jersey. I live here. All of the commissioners before me lived here, raised families here, and I think that makes a huge difference. You're invested in a very different way. I would hope that my time as commissioner was marked by the inclusion of family voice, the inclusion of constituent voice in all of the work that we do and the decisions that were made in the department, giving people with lived experience the opportunity to not only have a seat at the table, but really be fully integrated into the work. We have many parents and young people now who are helping shape the department, helping shape the way that we deliver services. And my leadership style is really that of servant leadership, which means that it's not about top down, but it's sitting with clients, it's sitting with caseworkers, really listening to what was needed in order to change, and then doing that at the risk of myself or at the risk of my job in order to be successful. As a leader, regardless of what your position is, as a leader, you have to be willing to share power. You know, it's not authoritarian like that. We just know that doesn't work. And not in social services can you have that kind of an approach to the work. And so I don't see myself as the only leader. I can't be the only one making decisions. I have to be willing to not only listen to my staff and my leadership team, but listen to the people who are most directly impacted. When I came in as commissioner, we really already had everything we needed to be able to exit, or to have been able to move out of the lawsuit. And it was a matter of starting to get the staff to believe that we could exit, and getting all of the leadership in a place to really believe that exit was within our reach. And I did take a different tactic. This administration, one of the things that we did was we took our work and looked at it, kind of put it into buckets. We have service excellence, that everything that we do in this department has to be done superbly, and that we are going to ensure that those things that we're statutorily required to do or mandated to do, that we do really well. And then when we look at reform, reform is process language. And so it's about how do we just incrementally continue to improve or to get better. And so when systems are talking about reforming, it's what you're already doing, maybe a different way of doing it. And transformation is not just building on past success or looking at and taking an element of your practice and making that better. It moves from tweaking a system to actually doing something completely different. And transformation has been our gold standard. It's like that's what we've been really trying to accomplish in this administration. My hope and my goal is that we are able to invest in families early, that we're able to do more primary prevention, that we support families earlier in their community so that parents get to raise their children safely, that children don't have to go into foster care, that if they do have to go into care, that they are placed with family members or kin, which we cannot do alone. It's not, just the child welfare system. It's thinking about how do we partner better and more effectively with other community providers, with communities, and with our other state partners.